Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you. Kind of testing out the camcorder I've actually had for a while. Finally got everything I needed to actually use it. But also, today we're going to be doing a review of Super Troopers 2. So I just went and saw it a few hours ago. If you like the first one, which I did, you'll probably really like this one too. I do have some complaints with it, but I mean, you know, it's a simple thing. It was still a fun movie. And to be perfectly honest, I'm really kind of glad that they waited as long as they did to make it, because I feel like the guys from Rogue and Lizard kind of just said, okay, so what works, and how do we use what worked in the first one, but at the same time make it different enough so people aren't just saying, hey, you're just you're just doing the same thing all over again. Sadly, it's on the downside is kind of just they're doing the same thing over again. It's a fun movie though. I highly recommend going to see it. I laughed quite a bit in the theater, and loudly actually. I kind of feel bad about that one, but so I had fun. I recommend it to anyone who enjoyed the first one. If you haven't seen the first one, the hell are you doing with your life? Go watch the first one. Now we're gonna venture into spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want the movie spoiled, this is the point when you need to, stop the video. Anyway, so all right. So from the previews, we know that a portion of Canada is actually not Canadian, but in the U.S. So they go up to do the transition. But now you're probably asking, but at the end of the first one, they were police as opposed to state troopers. So what happened? An incident involving Fred Savage during a ride-along that is why they're all no longer cops, or no longer cops, and in fact they're no longer law enforcement at all. So Ursula is Foster's girlfriend. She is now the chief in Spurbury, but they get called to the guys aside from Farva meet up with the chief often and go fishing together. Well, this time they get called up there. They go up to Canada. Bruce McCullough has a cameo as the Border Patrol agent for Canada, and turns out it was a ruse to get them there so that the governor, still played by Linda Carter, can, say, hey, we're going to give you guys a second chance. So, and if, this is a temporary gig, just 2 weeks, but if you do well, we'll see about it continuing. So, then she also brought Farva up there because, well, yeah, she doesn't like him that much. Anyway, so they get back together. They meet the Mounties, who are not too happy about the fact they're being transferred somewhere else, and they have to leave where they've been operating out of for ever. Also, the mayor, played by Rob Lowe. We get some. Basically learn a little bit more about Rabbit. Apparently he's also a huge fan of Canadian minor league hockey, and Rob Lowe's character was a prominent minor league Canadian hockey player, or Canadian minor league hockey player. Yeah. Anyway, so a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie relates to differing laws between Canada and the U.S. You know, what's legal there that isn't legal here, stuff like that. Anyway, so, oh, anyway, but it ends up being, and this is one of the things that really irritated me. It's a smuggling sort of thing again. Now it's not the Mounties behind it. It's the mayor. But to be perfectly honest, when it became a smuggling, when we find it's going to be a smuggling thing again, I was just like, okay, it's either the mayor or the Mounties. But then there's some nice callbacks though to the first one. Also just some stupid shit like the whole. For example, one of the bits of contraband they find, which in Canada is legal, but is not illegal in the state. But it isn't legal in the States, so the idea being that all of it's already there, and you don't have to worry about getting it across the border. So, they call it passive smuggling, which, hey, it's a smart way to go about it. Not gonna lie, but I was going somewhere with that. But yeah, I don't know, just the whole. I would have liked to see more of their shenanigans. You get a lot of the movie is just like there's a huge portion of the movie where it's just them getting hated on by the Canadians. Which, hey, good reasoning. These people are going to have to completely change their have their lives turned upside down, and they're not happy about it, and the guys are pretty much the best target for that. The jokes were funny. I mean, I don't think there was a single joke that didn't land. Farva is, of course, Farva. Ugh. Yeah, all in all, it was pretty funny. Again, if you like the first one, you'll probably like this too. It's a worthy sequel. I mean, it's probably one of the better sequels I've seen like in a while. It's not better than the original, but it is admittedly close to as good. So, anyways, I guess really I'm gonna shut up now because I can't really think of much else to say. This is kind of spur of the moment, so I didn't write anything down. But anyways, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links to both Twitter and Facebook are in the description box down below, as well as a link to my Patreon. If you want to subscribe or want to donate to that, feel free. Yeah, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off. Live long and rock hard.